What's going on? In this one, I'll be breaking down an entire ad strategy from start to finish. That way, whether you're new or just learning how to get into the info products and want to start advertising, more that coach, consultant kind of thing, or even, if you're already scaling, you want to see some different things that I do personally to help either myself or my clients obviously run not Facebook ads, engagement ads or traffic ads to obviously a profile or a DM, then again, this is gonna be the exact video for you. Okay, so enough of the talking. I'm gonna jump right into it and kind of show you guys the entire breakdown from start to finish. And then as well, you guys make sure to share this as I obviously have the sauce. I want to give you guys some more good videos like this. So let's jump right in. First things first, I'm gonna show you guys the follower ads. So what's a follower ad good for? Well, essentially, a follower ad is good for when you want to direct people to your Instagram and let your Instagram do the selling, right? Only works if you have good content, not even just good content, but good value and a lot of posting, right? So you can't run follower ads to a page that's not ready to be promoted to. So just for an example, what that might look like for you guys, I'll pull that up here, pull my account up, right? So essentially, right off the bat here, you have, for me, I have the founder of so-and-so, right? I call them out. So if you have an info business, I make you rich from it. DM me where revenue to scale your 50K a month info business, right? A link to my YouTube, my life. They can go through. They can click start here, and they can go through my stories. That's gonna take forever to load. My YouTube and clients' results. So as well, showing off lifestyle, just kind of what I'm up to. And if they go to my reels, they'll see some stuff in here. Okay, so that is kind of what I mean when I say it has to be done professionally. Or else you would, in a sense, just be wasting your money. So if you're running follower ads, you have to make sure your Instagram is already set up for it and is ready for the traffic. If not, again, I don't want you guys to be wasting your money because it's not going to do any justice. But the good thing about follower ads is it's not like a hard CTA. You're not telling them to book a call. What you're kind of doing is trying to give them value first. Just getting them value, and then from there they consume your content. Once they consume your content, then they're kind of warmed up to you, right? So it's just a really good way of getting in front of people, getting in front of audience. So let's take a look. Let's jump right in. So first things first, you're going to click traffic. Okay. On another video, I'm going to go over the engagement, which is for like DMs. And for DMs, you'll be clicking engagement because you want people to interact. As you can see here, let's click on that. So you want people to interact with your your post, right? So engage with your post, gets a lot of views. But the whole point of it is for them to comment, such and such word, and then from there you have a many chat sequence that goes out and so on. So okay. So traffic from here. We never click recommend settings. We always click manual traffic campaign. It's the only thing that really works well, okay? From here, in a sense, what we're gonna do is, because we're running follower ads, you can just run, like, for example, story follower ads, okay? Because they're gonna be more of like a story sample, and I'll show you in a second what that means. Ad set budget, you can turn this off, you don't really need that. Hit next. From here, you're gonna name it, what I like to do is first things first is we'll write the names later. Instagram and Facebook, because we're sending traffic there. You're going to pick your Instagram. If you guys have a Facebook page, now the only reason why you wouldn't do it to a Facebook page is because unless you have a Facebook page that's optimized and a lot of your consumers are on Facebook, there's no point for it. So always click Instagram and only Instagram. From here, scroll down. Budget, I don't recommend anything under $30 a day on ads. Reason I say that is because if you kind of limit how much money you're giving it, it's kind of like putting it in chokehold, right? It doesn't have enough money to spend. It doesn't have enough money to find that qualified person. So it's going to keep getting close and close and close, but it's never actually going to do what you want it to do. Okay, so from here, what you're able to do is scroll down and hit edit. Now I only target United States. Oh, that's not United States. Wherever you target, you can put that. Okay, so United States, get rid of Canada. For example, let's say you have people, you don't work with Alaska, all good. You can exclude Alaska. Now again, I just click this little drop down, include, exclude. Okay, so that's that. As well, scroll down here. I always switch to original audience. Advantage Plus audience is really for people who don't know how to set up ads. Okay, so that's just what that is. So you scroll here, use original audience, scroll down. Now you're going to see a bunch of information like this. So age. What is the age age range for your audience? Okay, so don't leave it at 18 to 65. That's not what it is. Mine's 18 to 30. Right? I'm talking to coaches, consultants, people with info businesses. Now as well, it's mostly male dominant for myself. Again, think of your audience. What are they? Are they men? Is it mostly women? Is it both? Then you can do all. But for me, it's mostly male dominated, so I'm not going to waste my money on the women's side, right? So only on the men. Now from here, all languages, I only speak English. So again, depending on where you are, if you speak different languages, if there's different languages in different countries, like for example, the United States has Spanish people. So I only want to target English. Okay, I don't want to waste my money on the Spanish people because at the end of the day, I might risk them not knowing English. And it might seem like, okay, my ads are in English. How the hell are they going to opt in? Believe it or not, I've had it many, many times where again, when I first started out, I didn't do this. And all I got was Spanish people, right? And I'm sitting there like, I can't do anything with this. So always make sure, unless you speak Spanish or a different language, only put English, okay? Placements. Because we are running on Instagram, nowadays, we don't put it on like the feeds. So get rid of the feeds, scroll down, stories and reels. So Facebook stories, no. Actually, if I scroll up here, it'll say Facebook, just, take off Facebook, okay? So just like that. You have only Instagram. Scroll down here. Facebook, Instagram. So you want these three. Turn these off. Everything else is off. You only want to have stories and reels. So Instagram stories, Instagram reels, Instagram profile reels. That's all you want. Don't check off anything else. This is the only place we want to spend money. And I'm telling you, you're going to get your highest ROI from doing this. Okay, so that is the setup for this. Now, how I like to kind of structure my ad name, so my ad set name, is based off of this information here. So instead of having to go through, down the line, you're gonna be looking at ad sets and like, okay, what did I do here? So I make it really, really easy for myself. So I'm targeting people at 18 to 30, targeting men that only speak English in the United States. Okay, so when I rename this, it's gonna be follower ads. Okay, do a little dash like this, follower ads, USA. I go men 18 to 30, as well English. Okay, so now I know when I come in here, I know exactly what's in this ad set, right? I know how it's structured. Okay, you can even go one further, and you can even say just strictly IG, right? So again, this is more for you. It honestly doesn't matter what you name your stuff, but just make sure that you understand it fully, because if you don't understand it, it's gonna be a complete mess when you try to go look and see what's working, what's not working. Okay, so that's how I name it. So that's all set up correctly. Again, just kind of skim through there. If you need to pause, you can pause. Next, click next. From here, okay, here's where we're gonna put our follower ads. So you're gonna name it based off of kind of what you guys got. Always make sure you check off this, or get rid of this, sorry. You don't wanna have multi-advertiser ads. It's just gonna waste your money, okay? Set up creative, image ad. So I'm gonna have a few image ads here. Let's just use one of these for the sake of the video. This one works. Don't check off any of those. Add music. I don't like to add music because sometimes it puts on some stupid music and you're kind of stuck with it. So I don't like to put music on. I like to just have my story ad as what it is. So this is how it's going to look. Okay. So just make sure when you guys are making your ads, they can see the follow to see how. Obviously in this one, they don't really do it well. So let me change this. You do not want it to be covered. Okay. So sometimes you might have to make a few just to see it. I believe this one works. There you go. Right? So they can see the ad clearly. They can see, it stops glitching. They can see the ad clearly. They see the words. They can see the picture, more words, and they can also see the CTA. So follow @Dorian Freilich for more, right? So I'm just telling them what to do. And then from there, it's super easy. They understand what they're supposed to do, and they can move forward. Primary text, what I like to do is just something like this. Follow Dorian Freilich for more, right? And you can kind of play around with this, put it however you really want it to, okay? So again, that's gonna pop up down here, right? This is where you're gonna see all that information. Don't worry too much about this. It's not like the biggest thing. Again, if your guys' ads are made correctly, you're gonna see like a good result, right? It doesn't matter about the primary text and all the wording here. It matters about what's in the ad. As a matter of fact, if you set it up and lay it out all correctly, you'll have the CTA, you'll have what you want them, who you're calling out and stuff like that, okay? We scroll down here, keep scrolling down. There's basically nothing else you need to do. That is basically your setup. Okay, so from here, what I do is I'll find again, naming conventions is up to you. It doesn't matter what the hell you name it. It's fully up to you what you want to name them. Okay, so for me, I see a stripe in here, and put stripe, and I'll put like Dorian, right? So I see myself, I see a stripe picture, and then from there I kind of understand more or less what that picture is, okay? So naming conventions are not too important. I mean, it's important, but you just don't try to overdo it. If you understand what it means, that's all that matters, right? Someone does not need to come in here and understand it. It's only up to you, because everyone names it differently. Everyone has their own kind of naming conventions and what they go around. So don't worry too much about that. Just keep doing what you want to do as long as you understand it, okay? From there, what you're going to be doing is duplicate, okay? You're going to put roughly 5 ads under this, give or take 5 ads, because you want Facebook to have enough to test. Okay, so don't limit it. Don't put 1. Don't only put 2. You want to put at least 5 different creatives within an ad set. So this is an ad set, okay? Underneath are your ads. So this is 1 ad. This is 2 ad. Right? For the sake of the video, I'm not going to go ahead and edit all these, but you want it to be looking something like this, okay? So it's a duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. Obviously, as you go on, as you make a new one, you have to come up here, change the name, come down here, hit clear all, add media, add image, and add a new image, okay? So make sure that you do that. Don't miss it, because they'll screw things up when you go to publish. So that is essentially all you need to do for the beginning. Now, what we're doing here is we're targeting broad, okay? What does that mean? Well, we didn't do any sort of interests, okay? And I'm not going to make a whole, show you all this and go in depth. I'll make a video on that, like custom audiences and interests and all that stuff. But for the sake of this, you want to have another one, duplicate the ad set. Okay, so we're going to duplicate, duplicate again. Now, I'm going to scroll to the top. Okay, so now we have a copy. So what I'm also going to do now is I'm going to target some interests. So we just did broad. Now I want to target interests. So you can just type in like business, entrepreneur. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll come down here. Okay, again, it's part of my naming convention. You're going to see here, add demographics, interests, or behaviors. So let's just do for the sake of the video, entrepreneur. Right? Always make sure you click the interest. Don't click anything else. It has to be an interest, or else you're going to screw things up. So entrepreneur, business, and finance. Now, what's going to happen is you'll see on the right here, I'll show you. So here's the audience size for only entrepreneur. People who are interested in entrepreneur. What they have in their bio, they search up entrepreneur a lot. They interact with accounts that have entrepreneur. That's what it's going to do. It's going to target those people. Okay, so it's roughly 5 to 5.8 million people within the United States. Now, if I go to broad, you'll see it has 27 million to 32.3 million. Right, so it's a huge difference. But the thing is, once you start to put in interests, it starts to kind of target and pinpoint the exact person that you want. Right, but the only thing is, you don't ever want to have it go into narrow. For example, this will drop down to whatever number here, and then it'll go to red. If you ever see this as red, do not proceed. That basically means that your audience is way too small, and you're not going to get any sort of results. Okay. Now I know I was searching here. Typically, this happens when you have custom audiences. So you have like a lead list or something like that. If it's too small, it'll go as red. Okay. So if it's red, you cannot proceed. Because if you proceed, you're just be wasting your budget, and sometimes it might not even spend the budget because there's not enough people. So don't waste your time. Always make sure it's either at minimum in the yellow in the middle, or at best in the green. Okay, so that's what you want to do. Just make sure that before you post anything, nothing is ever in the red. And again, you're not typically going to get it here through the interest. You're typically going to get that through having custom audiences. And again, I'm not going to go into that today, but you will get that once you start to again use custom audiences. Okay. So that's a full setup there. Now we have 2 things. So again, we have 2 ad sets. One is broad and one's interest targeting. Okay. So interest targeting is more for the specific people. You can do interest stacks. So you can stack different interests on top. Don't do too many because you don't want to be too broad. Do 2 or 3. And from there we have a broad, right? So this is the broad ad set. Now, whatever you do, if you're testing broad and interests, you want to make sure that every single ad in here is the exact same. The reason I say that is because if you don't have the same ads in here, you're not really going to know what's working, right? Because you can have, let's say, 5 different ads here, and then in the interest targeting, you have 5 different ads. you might start to get more leads in one versus the other, and you're going to start to say, oh, well, this one's working and the other one's not. But in reality, it might not even be the interest that's working. It might be the ads. It might be the hook, right? It might be the body. So you got to keep that in mind. You can't switch your ads. You have to be identical if you're if you're testing your interests or your broad targeting. Okay, so what you would typically do here is you would launch this, and then once you've launched this, you'll start to see results from one and not the other. Or sometimes it's relatively the same, but majority of the time you're going to see one kind of outperform the other. And once you start to see that, you can just turn off one ad set and you can start putting more budget to what's working. Okay, so that's kind of how you're going to structure it. Now, as well, what you can do is retargeting. So every time someone visits, I'm not going to get into this, I'll get into it next video. Every time someone visits your Instagram profile, every time someone clicks on your profile, not your profile, clicks on your ad, they comment on an ad, they like an ad, they save an ad, whatever they do, you can start to retarget these people. So it's like, okay, they didn't know who you were. Now they interacted with your account. Okay. Now you have them as a custom audience, which we then retarget. And once you retarget them, what's going to happen is they start to see your content over and over and over again, to then they basically like you, they trust you, they believe the same things that you believe because you have so much content that's just kind of reshifting their beliefs. And then from there, they typically become a client. Okay, so that's how retargeting works. Again, I'm going to save all that for another video because that's going to take another 15, 20 minutes to just, go in depth and kind of explain to you guys. Right, so that is the ads. That's how you set up ads for follower ads. Specifically, if you guys have any questions about anything, you can either feel free to comment on this video, or even I'll drop my Instagram down below, and you guys can send me messages. I always like to connect with like-minded people. So if you have an info business, you're a coach or consultant, feel free to give me a follow. We can shoot the shit, talk about how we can help you guys. But other than that, I'll drop the link down. Again, if you're a coach or consultant that's doing about $30,000 a month right now, or have a large audience of 50,000 people, what I can do is I can come in one-on-one and help you scale up that offer. So whether you help help people with fitness, you help Airbnb arbitrage, coaching people, or even you already do Airbnb or you already do trading and you want to teach people how to do what you do, then again, click that link down below. What I'll do is I'll come in, work one-on-one with you, scale your business upwards of $100,000, and we'll do a massive launch and just make you a shit ton of money. Okay, so again, all the links down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.